Urban legends and terrifying myths of all kinds seem to surface from all around the world as reports of strange, supernatural, paranormal, and extraterrestrial accounts spread through a town or region like wildfire. Some of these urban legends tend to never leave the region in which they first began, whereas others might make national headlines all around the world in their appearance. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we will be covering 6 terrifying urban legends that come from the country of China and their strange origins. The Haunted Office of Shenzhen. In the city of Shenzhen, China, a location that helps to connect Hong Kong with that of mainland China, there appears to be a strange haunting that have left many residents in the area fearful for their lives. The building is known as the Zongying Building, located at the heart of the city. According to online reports related to the building's cost of rent, of which are reported at record lows, and the lack of businesses staying afloat in the building, there appears to be a number of urban legends claiming that strange, demonic entities are responsible for this occurrence. Locals claim that the building is haunted with the spirits of those that fought against the government during the Chinese Cultural Revolution, an event of which occurred during the 60s and the 70s. The building is believed to have been at the centre of government-made cover-ups and possible executions of those that decided to stand up against the conditions of China during this time. Despite developer intentions of cashing in on the cheap plot of land to help create a massive investment opportunity for investors and buyers, the hauntings have become so numerous and well known in legend that the building fails to keep up with its own maintenance and continues to be at the bottom of the value when concerning rent and economic growth compared to neighbouring buildings. The Hello Kitty Head. Back in 1999, a strange case appeared before Hong Kong detectives as a 13-year-old girl came to the police department and reported that the ghost of a woman was targeting her. According to her story, her boyfriend, a 21-year-old man, had taken the woman's life, and now her spirit had come back from the dead to haunt the 13-year-old girlfriend. Detectives were unable to make sense from the girl and believed it to be nothing more than a hoax, but continued with investigations to better understand what was being reported. After visiting an apartment, detectives then discovered the report was anything but a hoax and uncovered the 23-year-old female victim's head left inside of a Hello Kitty doll. After investigations, the attack led to the arrest of 3 individuals that now serve a life term in prison without possibility of parole after a Hong Kong judge regarded the crime as one of the worst things to have ever occurred within the confines of Hong Kong. Although the apartments have long since been demolished, the newly constructed hotel in its place is reported as being at the centre of a wide number of strange hauntings and headless female apparitions. The Mongolian Deathworm. Referred to as the Mongolian Deathworm, this large and terrifying cryptid is described as being bright red in colour and 5 feet in length. According to locals, the creature can be found occupying the Gobi Desert and, when confronted, can eject a large amount of toxic acid-like venom that could allow the creature to burrow inside the body of any large animal. Residents of the Gobi Desert have credited the creature as being responsible for strange wounds found on bodies, the death of camels and horses, as well as being at the source of a large number of disappearances involving travellers never being seen again when journeying out into the region. Other extraordinary claims include the Mongolian deathworm growing to be the size of a 10-foot-long monster with a diameter of 2 feet in width. Others describe the creature as looking similar in appearance to that of a moving intestine crawling across the ground and burrowing through the ground and bodies of large animals. Reports of this creature have been so common and such a terror to those living in the region that many television networks have personally funded expeditions to locate the creature in the Gobi Desert and prove its legitimacy as an undiscovered species of the area. In 2006, lasting all the way until 2007, Destination Truth, a popular mystery television show, conducted their own investigations on the cryptid and continued the hunt for more than a year before ending the expedition prematurely empty-handed. Despite the lack of evidence for the creature, it still appears to be a popular legend even in the modern day for those living in the region. The Dragon Pillar of Ya'an Gawajia. Back in the 1990s, Shanghai unveiled their Yang'an elevated road, of which worked to be an elevated expressway located in the city of Shanghai, China, that helped direct traffic and allow drivers to reach a continuous speed of 80 kilometers an hour during the peak rush hour times of the city. Interestingly enough, residents began to notice that exceptional design in one of the pillars located near the People's Square, of which was referred to as the Dragon's Pillar. Whereas all the other pillars supported the elevated road were constructed out of nothing but rebar and concrete, the Dragon's Pillar was larger, thicker, and designed with a metallic finish and 9 large bronze dragons around the location. Rumours began surfacing that the reason for why this pillar differed in design from the others had to do with strange issues with the area that would continue to surface, halting construction of the road. Eventually, it was believed that a monk from the Jade Buddha temple agreed to perform a religious ceremony in the area to help banish any evil spirits preventing the construction. After the ceremony was complete, the monk then instructed the contractors to cover the pillar with 9 large bronze dragons, as he described that the area in which they were drilling was that of the city's guardian dragon resting place. Guangzhou's Plaza of Bodies. The Liwan Plaza in Guangzhou has led many residents living in the area wondering if the plaza is at the centre of a strange paranormal or supernatural force, given the amount of accidental deaths in the region. Additionally, residents find that the Cantonese cursive character for Guang bears an eerie resemblance to that of the Cantonese character often used for the word corpse. For some strange and unknown reasons, since 2004, there have been more than a dozen accidents that involve passers-by falling off of nearby railing and plummeting to their demise. Despite efforts to minimize these accidents, many witnesses report that an otherworldly force will push victims over the railings that get too close to the edge, with no explanation in sight. This has led many to believe that the mall and the shopping plaza are at the center of a terrifying curse that has caused disturbed spirits in the region to become angry with those overhead. Recently, it has surfaced that the mall appears to have been built atop an ancient Qing dynasty sacrificial chamber, with more than 8 coffins being unearthed underneath. When the coffins were opened by researchers, they found that each coffin was completely empty, with not a body in sight. This led to superstitious contractors to ask a Taoist priest to help explain the strange occurrences and the significance of the coffins. The priest, after investigating the site and looking over ancient symbols, told the contractors that the coffins were not buried with bodies, but with strange forces of evil that were to be contained for 1,000 years. The priest then went on to explain that the opening of the coffins and the disturbance of the construction has awoken the evil lurking inside that is now free to do as it pleases. The Disappearance of Nanjing. During World War II, there are plenty of strange stories that have surfaced involving the use of new and emerging weapons, the odd fascination with the occult, and forces so dark and mysterious they bordered on a nature of evil mysticism. Probably one of the strangest stories to surface, however, was that of the disappearance of almost 3,000 Chinese soldiers stationed in Nanjing that seemed to have vanished without a trace in the blink of an eye. According to the Chinese military reports, back in 1939, as Japan was still actively invading the Chinese territories, a Chinese military official, known as Colonel Li, stationed 2,988 soldiers amongst the rolling hills located around the area of Nanjing. The troops were positioned there as a strategic advantage to fight off any further invading Japanese forces in the region before enemy troops could get close enough to plan for the defensive forces. As rumour has it, according to certain military personnel, as they were in contact with the positioned soldiers, suddenly they realised that not a single responding call or signal was coming through. Despite efforts of regaining contact with the troops, nothing more could be heard or understood. Quickly, Colonel Lee sent an investigation team to uncover the fate of the soldiers, believing them to have been a casualty of war and completely decimated by encroaching enemy troops. Oddly enough, the investigation team uncovered no evidence of war of any kind. When the team arrived at the positioned outpost, they uncovered that all of the weapons and bunkers were seemingly deserted with no evidence of a single shot having been fired. The entire defensive line, almost 3,000 soldiers, just vanished without a trace. To this day, nothing more has been uncovered relative to the incident, of which has left many believing a strange and supernatural force could have been responsible for such a strange occurrence. But what do you all think of these 6 strange and unexplainable urban legends found across the country of China and the province of Hong Kong? Be sure to let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to share your answers and questions about the video to help grow our community and share insightful comments about the nature of these topics. Hopefully, as we continue to grow our community, we will one day be able to solve these unexplainable mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.